Hello and welcome back to the Film Posers YouTube channel. I'm Gabriela and I'm joined by my co-host, Ana Sofia. And today we have a very exciting interview. We will be interviewing Seychelle Gabriel from The Tomorrow War. So if you don't know, The Tomorrow War is Amazon's newest movie starring Chris Pratt and Yvonne Strahovski, and it follows a group of people who are recruited to fight a war in the future to save the past. So Seychelle Gabriel is part of this film. She plays Sergeant Diaz. She was the voice of Asami in Legend of Korra. She played Lourdes on Falling Skies. And she was recently seen in Bloodfest at South by Southwest back in 2018. So we had the honor of talking to her about her experience making this film and her preparations. And yeah, we're just gonna jump into it. The Tomorrow War is such an action-driven film. What was your process preparing for it? Like training, or was there anything specific that you had to do to prepare?
Yeah, it was very physical. We had a group training for about a week before. I think it was maybe like a month or so before we started, but it was a full week of training, and we were all there, and we were given like rubber guns that were heavy, not as heavy as real guns, but still heavy. And we were in this big warehouse where we were learning all of these like military like drills, basically, team drills. So like we'd be like walking around the warehouse like in a line, and then we'd have to like learn if someone was like contact left, we'd all have to like turn to the left and like rearrange, and like, so it was very much like learning new skills. And plus so there's that, and then we were learning the actual like shooting of the guns, which I had never shot a gun before this movie. And so learning the technique and the skill, and the etiquette around your teammates, and how to like surround each other safely and all of that. So it was very, my arms got a big workout.
I can imagine the equipment is very heavy as well. I can imagine.
Yeah. And then when you're actually shooting, we have like other gear on us. So it's just like a lot. And so you have to like really just like connect to your strength.
Yeah, it's so funny because I look at when actors do that they have to wear all of this heavy equipment. I'm like, I would fall on my face. Like I have no upper body
strength. Oh my God.
So I was slammed to the floor.
Or then if you have to like pee or something, you're like, okay, I have to take my like gun belt off and my this off and this off, and like, so you have to like be strategic, or I had to be strategic about when I peed, because I have to like take like 3 guns off and whatever. Yeah.
But I love how when you make your grand entrance, like you look with such ease carrying that gun with such confidence. Like it seemed like it weighed nothing. Like how was it to get to that point?
Thank you. It was hard. Yeah. Thanks. Yeah, no, it was definitely like not only physical, but also like a mental journey of like, because this is like a giant scary weapon, honestly, and like for me to be handling it with the force that it had required me to like get myself relaxed and like I said, connect to my strength. But the strength will come if you work on it. But yeah, the mental part is connecting to your breath and like focusing, and luckily I had the gun advisors on set were like very, very helpful and like reassuring me, and like I was like, is everyone safe here? Everything was safe, and they were like, this is how you do it, you're doing it right or you're doing it wrong, and so it was like very clear. So that was helpful.
That's awesome.
Yeah,
you did it.
Yeah. I know I did. I was like, woo, oh my goodness. Yeah. Crazy.
So my next question is that you were previously on Falling Skies, which was also about an alien invasion. Did that
Yes.
experience help you with the Tomorrow War? Did you already have like survival skills of like you have to do this when you're dealing with aliens or anything like that when it comes to this film?
Yeah, I mean, like, you know, my character in Falling Skies was like the medical girl. You know, obviously I did like action stuff, but what it did help me with was like being able to just imagine that scenario, because I was so familiar with it with Falling Skies. It was like, you know, 4 years of imagining that. So to jump back into that storyline where aliens are involved was luckily not, luckily it was familiar to me, and I could just basically build on that, and you know, and which is, yeah, which was helpful for me. But yeah, but you know, and then like just remembering, kind of like I said, you know, just like you know, finding your balance in like chaotic scenes and stuff. And like Falling Skies definitely kind of introduced me to that, you know, like running around when there's like a little explosion happening, and like, you know, knowing, not just being used to that basically, because it does take getting used to. And so yeah, that all definitely like was helpful during this process.
It's also helpful that in the Tomorrow War, there's only one type of alien, and in Fallen Skies, there were like 4 different type of aliens
I
that you
know.
had to be careful with, you know, the powers of each one. Here was just one, just shoot
Yeah,
at
no, exactly. Simple. Yeah, just super simple.
no cheaters, no omegas. We're good.
Oh my God. The Max, yeah, and the Ishveni,
Oh yeah,
which they were my favorite.
yeah, mine
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
The design was so cool. They were creepy, but they were so cool.
Yeah, yeah, truly.
Okay, Anna, your questions.
Okay, so the next question is, you've been able to explore a variation of acting methods from voice acting to action performances such as this one. What would you say has been your process in when adapting each opportunity?
Hmm. It's a great question. Well, you know, seeing what each role requires. In one way, they're all similar in like the process of like your imagination, and you know, the mental process of it is similar, and so that's that carries over, which is nice. With voice acting, definitely the emphasis is on my vocal health, you know, and like being able to like I always warm up before I do voiceover work, because you could be like screaming, you know, and if you're in, you know, a session for a couple hours, you can't wear out your voice because you need to like work. And so it's very much about like staying connected to your breath, and yeah, and just making sure that your instrument is like healthy. And but also, you know, voice work is very important for regular, you know, regular acting. And so it's nice that, you know, like these things have influenced each other, that like my voice work with voiceover has like helped me to remember to like keep my voice strong and whatever in film. And yeah, but then, you know, the film part is you bring your body to it more, which is a whole nother thing, you know. And so I'll often stretch before I work, you know, to like open my body up, and yeah, and so yeah, they're just different parts of yourself, which is cool.
Yeah, because when it comes to acting, it's all about like the physical strength. But however, when it's like voice acting, it's like in your throat, and you know, you gotta get yourself into the character that you're voice acting.
Yeah, no, exactly. And it's still yeah, it's still that process of finding where the character like lives in you, you know, what part of myself can I like connect to and bring there. And then once you like kind of, you know, they both involve, you know, just like that search process where you're like, where is it in me? And then you kind of like get a hint, and then you're like, okay, I can work with that. And then, you know, just finding it that way.
Yeah, definitely. Like how you're reading a script and you like, okay, the character's in this type of mental state. I need to like express it in that way.
Yeah, yeah. And sometimes it's hard, and it's, I mean, oftentimes it's hard, and especially when, like, I think as humans, just we often get in our own way, and I can like read something and I'm like, oh, I'm not right for that, or this is going to be too hard for me to do, and we limit ourselves, because there are we react to like so many different situations in our lives, even if they're small situations. If like someone, at a coffee shop says something to you, or if someone in your family, just like the ways that we react to different things, we're definitely capable of portraying like a wide variety of things. So when I say that I'm not right for something, or I can't do something, I'm learning to like be like, wait a second, maybe maybe I can do that because in this situation in my life, I did react that way, or, I don't know if that makes sense, but um, yeah.
But also, I think it's curious how when you're voice acting, you're mostly alone and you don't see, a set or anything. Well, in comparison to when you're like acting as a character physically, I imagine it's kind of, is it difficult to do?
Yeah, I find that difficult. Yeah. And I think, I mean, when you're in like a studio, like when we did The Legend of Korra, when I was on that, a lot of times actually I was filming Falling Sky, so I was like doing it remotely. But when I was lucky enough to be in town to record with everybody, it like really made a difference, because when you're, that's the thing about acting that's like kind of thrilling, is like you do it at home and you can only do so much with yourself, and then like when you bring someone else to it, then you're like, oh my God, you start thinking of things you're like, wouldn't have thought of before, because they're bringing this whatever, and then it just brings new things out of you. And so it is nice for voiceover. It's nice to like be in a studio with people. But otherwise that definitely is like a challenge of voiceover acting, for me at least.
Yeah, definitely. It's certainly like being surrounded with people enhances that experience when it comes to voice acting.
Yeah. And just, yeah, the enthusiasm, and just having other actors around you, and you're like, what this whole process is like and how challenging it can be, and you get it, and we're all like here for each other, and and so that's just as like, kind of that energy is really helpful as well.
Yeah, certainly. So throughout your filmography, you've been able to work on different genres. Is there like a specific one that you kind of lean on?
um n- Not exactly. I mean, it's funny, like my family will like make fun of like how they're like, you're always doing sci-fi stuff, and I'm like, I don't know, like that's just like the stuff that I'm that's the stuff that's happening for me, I guess. And but yeah, I when I watch stuff on TV, like my favorite stuff is like stories just kind of about like dysfunctional people. Just like, like people who have like weird relationships with their family, or I don't know, I just like dysfunctional, like like Marriage Story, which was like, a pretty heartbreaking movie, but like I just like love that shit. I love like, people like figuring out, like they don't understand each other, and they're like, why can't I get to you? And then they finally figure out a way to talk to each other. And like I love that shit. And that stuff is fun for me, I guess. Like that's the genres that like I'm naturally drawn to. But through my work, I've before I started working in sci-fi, I didn't really watch a ton of it, and now it's kind of opened me up to that world, and like now I really do appreciate it and enjoy it. And so that's, that's cool about acting, is like I do a horror movie and then I like start to like be like, oh, like there's some really like amazing horror movies that I've never seen before, and and it just really keeps opening me up to stuff, which I like.
Yeah. you mentioned horror, and Anna is like the biggest horror fan.
Oh yeah. What's your favorite horror film?
For now, is Hereditary by Ari Aster.
Oh my God, I need to see that movie. Okay, I haven't seen that movie, but I need to. And because Toni Collette is in that, right?
Yes, she's amazing.
Yeah. See, and I watched her in her Netflix thing, Wanderlust, which again is like about dysfunctional relationships. Um, but yeah, I love her, and I need to watch that because everyone has told me about it.
Yeah, I can only watch horror movies with Anna because she doesn't get scared. I'm the scaredy cat. So I watch them with her because
I'm like that too.
because she laughs at the jump scares. She starts laughing. So she comforts me.
It's
remember-
my way of coping.
I love that. I think that's amazing. And I remember, yeah, when I saw Get Out in the theater, there's like the moment, there's like a jump scare that happens with like the maid or something. And yeah, and like I was like the only one in the theater who like screamed, like I screamed, and it was like not even like a huge scare, but like I like anything gets me.
Can relate. I am the exact.
Yeah, and if you're into those like kind of driven storylines with family or drama, you're really gonna love Hereditary.
Yeah, it's very a dysfunctional family
Yeah.
too. So.
Oh, okay, good. Yeah. I love that stuff because it makes us all feel more human, you know, and yeah. But no, I need to watch that, so I will.
So, Seychelle, now that you have this experience of working in an alien invasion and being in that mindset, how do you think you would do in real life if aliens came?
Yeah. Yeah, I think I don't know if I'd do well, honestly. I think like I would hide and I would just try to stay hidden. But if they came, at least I'd have a little like, you know, familiarity with like weird looking creatures. So I could just be like, okay, maybe like the shock wouldn't like paralyze me as much. But you know, and perhaps maybe I would fight, but I think I'm more of like I'm a pacifist. I'm like, I'll be back here, and if you need me, just call me.
I'll be hiding in the corner.
I mean, you know what I would like? I would like to be, which I don't even know if I'd be good at this, but like what I think I would like to do is to like be the like the ambassador. Like I'd be like, we come in peace, you know, like what do you want? What do we have? You know, what can we trade? Like I'd be like, you know, I'll be part of the ambassador diplomat team.
So kind of like how Falling Skies ended with the diplomacy between the Earth and the aliens. It was kind of like what was suggested.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't know if I would do well, but you have an advantage. You can carry the heavy weapons. And
That's true. I did get some training. So.
Not me. I would.
Yeah.
The equipment, I'm gonna fall, and I'm just, you know what? Just
you already have the experience. You'll be great.
Yeah, you'll be great. Bro.
I mean, you would get it too. You point and shoot, you know, and it's like, but it is. Yeah, I've gotten over the like scared of it part, because that was definitely something.
Okay. Well, Seychelle, it was so lovely getting to talk to you about the Tomorrow War and Falling Skies. So thank you so much for
likewise. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you. Yeah.
Take care, and we're looking forward to everything that you will do in the future. We're so excited for you. So yeah, take care, Seychelle.
Awesome. Thanks, ladies. Take care. So nice to meet you.